Too much content for me to talk about in this intro. Let's begin. Welcome back to another episode, guys. We've got way too much to talk about today, so let's talk about what we're getting this week. This week, we're getting the Christmas event that is called the Silent Night Spectacular, or at least the beginning of it. This event brings along a Christmas-themed public map that seemingly is Moonlit River Park that will probably have some game modes for you to play on or some mini kind of party games that you'll be able to do. It is not a playable map that you'll be able to play normal 1v4, but you get the point. I'm assuming that by completing some event missions or something like that, you'll be able to get these two new B tiers that they've announced, including the B tier skin for Guard 26 called Abominable Snowman and the B tier skin for Magician called Christmas Magic. They are quite cute. There is a ton of returning content, including returning content to the store. You'll be able to get the A tier Gamekeeper skin Christmas Reindeer, the A tier Evil Reptilian skin Christmas Party, the A tier First Officer skin Star Seeker, and the emote Resonance for both Survivors and Hunters that are for the specific characters they were released from a couple of years back, or maybe 3 or 4 years back. I don't even remember at this point. How about the Spyglass store? Because it's also getting a ton of returning content, including B tier skins for Gardener, Hellember, Barmaid, Cowboy, Photographer, Entomologist, Coordinator, and Sculptor, all from previous Christmas events, and the B tier pet called Naughty Bruce. Some new Christmas content that you'll be able to find in the store includes Mad Eye's new skin that is the A tier skin Silent Night Magician, named after the event itself. It's a very cool skin. I don't expect too many people to purchase it because I don't really know that many people that play Mad Eyes, to be honest, but if you do, I beg that you please purchase the skin if you have the fragments for it and you don't want to buy anything else that we're going to talk about today, because it's a really cool looking skin and I'm excited to see what it looks like in the game itself. There's a new accessory coming out this week that is for Guard 26. It's Guard 26's Identity 5 Japan League 2024 accessory that is based on the winners of said tournament. The winners were the team ZETA and they chose Guard 26 was going to get an accessory, and the A tier accessory that he's getting is called Thunder Drum. It is a green drum with green lightning coming off of it, and of course Zeta's logo on the top. Something we possibly might see this week include optimizations for Mercenaries S tier skin Man in Red, Professor's Spring Heated Wine, Knight's The Red Knight, and Priestess's S tier skin The Envoy of Yog Sothoth. These skins have all had different changes to them. Some have had extra effects added to them, some of them have more details added. For example, the Knight skin has new kind of details added to his scarf. I didn't add this to the notes, I just remembered, but there's also Doctor that's getting a change to one of her skins. I've forgotten which one, but it looks really cool. They've changed the face model for it and stuff. Why I say it possibly could be this week, it could be in the future, is because usually when they announce optimizations and showcase them, they usually add them the following patch. So we could see these ones here, we could see these ones in a couple of weeks, but anyway. Another thing that we're getting this week is we're getting 3 character days, including Gardener's character day on the 21st. It's going to be her 6th character day. She's going to be getting a special portrait based on her lore. Hellember has also got a character day on the 21st, and it's also his 6th character day, meaning he's getting a special portrait as well. And Entomologist is getting her 4th character day on the 22nd, and that's going to give her a special emote. Now it's time for us to go through the massive amount of future content that NetEase has announced in the recent live stream that they just did, and yeah, it's a lot of content, so hold on to your hats as we go through all of this. I'm going to go pretty quickly, so I will go more in detail when we're like 1 or 2 weeks away from the content, so don't worry, I will tell you guys more about this in the future. I've also put this in order of the dates that they're releasing in, so this is chronological order. Quick reminder that the Deduction Star skins start releasing from December 26th onwards, because we have already seen which one's coming out first, and that's going to be Patience A tier skin that's called Romeo, that I'm assuming is Romeo and Juliet themed. He looks very nice. Another reminder that Antiquarian's Esports series skin is coming out on December 26th, along with the accessory that's going with that. Another reminder is that the new Create Your Own Game mode should also be coming at the end of December, so I'm assuming that's also coming on the 26th. It could come this week, but not completely sure. By end of December, I think they mean that patch, so we'll see if that's the one that we get. Even more content that we're getting on December 26th is we're getting Coordinator's Identity 5 Professional League 2024 Summer Champion accessory that is an A tier accessory called Accrued Glory. It is a pixelated or possibly Lego panda holding a trophy that is, I think, the trophy from the event, and it is based on the champion team GG that won that tournament. I'm really curious to see what the effects are, because this accessory looks really cool. I like the vibe of it very much, and I don't really play Coordinator all that much, but if I had this accessory, I'd be very happy because it looks cool. I'm just very curious about what the effects are going to be. Okay, moving on from December 26th to January 2nd, so we're going to next month. Yes, we've got at least 2 months worth of content to talk about here. We're getting the Koa 8, I might say 7 at some point, but the Koa 8 event starts, and that's going to bring along the Koa 8 Essence that has some fantastic looking skins. The S tier skin is for Soul Weaver, the A tier skins are for Puppeteer, Little Girl, Cheerleader, and Aeroplanist. I'm not quite sure what the theme is. I can't put my finger on it exactly. It reminds me a lot of that robot that has the kind of plants on it from like an anime, and that's also probably another theme based on something else. But yeah, I can't remember what the name of that one is, but that seems like it's what the theme is. It's kind of like futuristic after post-humanity, where kind of plants have taken over, kind of old industrial machines that have kind of overgrown with plants. It's very, very cool. I really like it. It's a really, really bold choice they made, and I love it. Koa 8 will also have some event rewards where you'll be able to get the A tier skin for novelist called Genesis, the A tier accessory for novelist called Whistling Finch, that seems to mention something to do with a redemption store. I'm not really sure what that's about. A B tier for Bloody Queen, a B tier survivor pet, and 20 Koa 8 essences. Yeah, that's a lot of essences. So you'll have a higher chance of getting at least one of those A tiers, hopefully the S tier. There's also a ton of returning content from previous Koas, including Koa Essences 3 all the way through to 7, so not 1 and 2, but everything else that you'll be able to, of course, use your inspirations on if you want to get previous Koa skins. The store will have returning A tiers for Female Dancer and Wildling, and the Spyglass store, or possibly the event store, depending on how they release this, will have A tiers for Postman, Batter, and Professor from previous Koas, and B tiers for Naiad, Guard 26, and Entomologist. Although these are not coming on January 2nd per se, I believe these are coming on January 1st, because this returning content should come on January 1st, not January 2nd, as that's what they announced in the little posters. Is this a mistake? I'm not completely sure, but this is the day before the patch, as the 2nd is usually the patch. So yeah, that's interesting to see, but we'll see how that comes out. So you might get this content just the day before everything else releases. And of course, since it is Koa 8, that means there's going to be a lot of tournament shenanigans where you'll be able to participate in matches to be able to help your team if you're going to play competitively, of course, to play as many matches and win as many matches as you possibly can, so you can participate in the big Koa event. Moving to January 16th, we're getting the beginning of the Chinese New Year event, and this is going to bring along a story event, as it usually does. That's probably going to be quite cute. I don't really go through the stories, so I'm not really sure exactly what goes on during those events, but you get the point. The memory spheres will be reset, so your guaranteed pool will be reset. You'll be able to select something different, and they'll also be rewarding us with 10 memory spheres. All characters will be free for you to play, and there's going to be a special echo package. Don't really know what the details of that are yet, but we'll find out soon enough. A ton of skins will be releasing on January 16th, including a one skin for Hellember that's called Not For Sale, as this is what he would look like if he hadn't gone to the manor, and I assume if he hadn't been murdered and all of that. He looks so cute, and I'm really interested to see what this looks like in game, and I also really want to know what his weapon is. Is he going to be holding a toy shark, or is it going to be something different? I am really curious. This skin is really, really funny. There's an Ivory Tower skin for Thief coming on that day. A skin that I'm very excited for is the Evil Reptilian S tier skin called Jormungandr. I had to look that up online. Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the pronunciation first time. And this is going to be available in the Spyglass store for Spyglasses. So this is the special S tier skin that they release sometimes in the Spyglass store. Do I have enough Spyglasses? Not yet, but I'm pretty close, because it's usually around 1,000 Spyglasses. And another skin that's coming on January 16th that I think a lot of you will be excited about. That is the SS tier skin for the next year. That is Seer's skin called Prophet of Yore. It is very, very pretty looking, although I'm not a big fan of him having yet another white themed skin. A lot of them blend together for me, but it is an SS tier skin, and it looks really, really wonderful, and all the effect. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this looks like in game. It will bring, of course, another pet, an accessory, and furniture thing to match him, and it should presumably be coming to the Penrose Maze, unless they make changes about that. I'm not completely sure. If you thought that's all we're getting on January 16th, well, you are very wrong, because we're also getting a crossover that's returning, and it is B-Duck. We've had the B-Duck crossover return so many times now that I am a little tired of talking about the fact that it's returning. But yeah, Part 26 skin, Mercenary, Prisoner, and Perfumer will be coming back. Gonna skip over that because it's a little bit overused at this point. Moving on to January 23rd, they revealed the new survivor that's coming, and her name is Meteorologist, also known as Wendy Foot or Fute, I don't really know. It's a really cute looking survivor. She has a really fun design with a little thing on her head. I really do like what she looks like. I'm curious about her abilities. I can imagine she's going to be a harasser with maybe the ability to push hunters with wind and maybe hit them with lightning to stun them, but that's just my theory. I don't really know. I don't think they've announced anything, and I don't know if there are any leaks about her yet. as she is releasing on January 23rd, that means that Season 35 Essence 3 will be releasing with her special S tier skin. And again, it is really, really cute. It's like a cloud kind of theme. I don't really know what the theme is. It's very different and strange. And it also has an A tier skin for Guard 26. It looks really cool. And also one for Gardener, if you can see her at the back there. There's also a B tier skin. I didn't check who it was, but you can see that person in the background. Another thing that's coming on January 23rd is the Chinese New Year event. For participating in the public map, you'll get an event reward that should be a wall hanging furniture piece that looks quite nice. It's like a scroll. And even more skins are releasing on January 23rd, including Prospector's S tier Nymph Award skin that looks really cool. He looks like a very cool mafia boss to me. And Ripper's S tier Best Performance skin that is creepy, and I really, really want it. So I might purchase this one. This one is fantastic. I do play Ripper sometimes, so I kind of need this one. And if you thought that was all that we're getting on January 23rd, well, you'd be wrong again, because you've been wrong twice already at this point. Because we're getting a crossover, and I've never even heard of this thing. It is called Snake Off, and it is a mobile game, as far as I can tell, that is just an upgraded version of the classic original Snake game. It's very interesting. I'm wondering what kind of skins they will release, because they've told us that there'll be some B-tier skins coming for Gardener, Forward, and Perfumer. Moving over to January 28th, on midnight January 28th, we'll be getting a Chinese New Year's Eve event that will bring along some S-tier skins for Doctor, Naiad, and Cowboy to the store. Doctor's skin is going to be the Chinese New Year limited skin, and Naiad and Cowboy are going to be time limited. If you don't know the differences between those, go and ask it in the comments, because I don't completely understand that either. I think one means it's never coming back again. The other ones mean they will. These skins will also have matching accessories that are S tiers, including the Flask of Longing, Pouch of the Divine, and Chalice of Clarity for each of the characters in the correct order that I mentioned them. That will also be added to the store. There will be a login event to get 10 memory spheres. There are going to be returning B tier skins and emotes from previous years, returning store furniture from previous years, both high tier and low tier furniture pieces. Returning to the Spyglass store, there's going to be a ton of returning furniture, dishes, and accessories from previous years. A ton of furniture, dishes, and accessories from previous years as well. Moving on to February 6th, there's going to be a Link Click crossover, and this is going to be the part 2. If you have not watched that season, then I don't want to give you guys too many spoilers, but I can imagine the characters are going to be the pink-haired characters. I can't remember what their names are, and also the sister of the main character, and also I've forgotten another person. And it looks like they're going to be optimizing part 1 skins, so those would be the 2 main characters of Link Click. On February 12th, we're getting the Lantern Festival that should bring along Toy Merchant's new S-tier skin, Myriad Blossoms. It's quite pretty. I'm not the biggest fan of this one compared to everything else that they've announced recently. I would say this one was the one that impressed me the least, but it's still very nice regardless. And on February 20th, we're getting yet another crossover. Yes, even more. We're getting the Conan Doyle Estate crossover that is related to Sherlock Holmes. If you did not know that already, there's going to be an S-tier skin for journalists called Miss Watson, and an A-tier skin to match that that's called The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. This will be available in a package that will be available in the store. The skin looks quite nice if you look at the art, and there's going to be an essence, so this is going to be season 36 essence 1 if I'm correct here, and it's going to bring along a ton of skins, including the S-tier skin for novelist called Sherlock Holmes. Guess who guessed? The A-tier skin, an A-tier skin for postman called Dr. Watson, an A-tier skin for first officer called Inspector Lestrade, an A-tier skin for knight called Art Dealer, and even more B-tiers yet to be announced. There'll be a new Sherlock Holmes themed room, not just furniture, but room as far as I could tell, and also some furniture themed around Sherlock Holmes, and they will also give us 10 free crossover essences during the event. After putting this whole video together, I think that's all that we've got, so make sure you watch the video that's on the screen right there, because YouTube thinks that you'll like it. I should probably watch it too.